After diagnosis, we were told to obviously check all food labels, cut out all dairy from her diet, which we did initially. We replaced dairy with soya. As her symptoms didn't clear, we followed a soya avoidance diet and then reintroduced, after a couple of weeks, avoidance of soya, and her symptoms returned. So she was diagnosed with a soya protein allergy as well. For us, we look out for any changes in skin, any changes in her respiratory conditions, and any changes in her bowel movements. The first questions in my mind once we'd received the diagnosis were, so what do we do? Where do we go from here? Initially you just think it's a case of swapping milk and everything will be fine. When you get into the nitty-gritty of cow's milk protein allergy, you realise it's much, much more than that, and that you have to completely change the entire way you think about food. It's not just a simple case of cutting out cow's milk and cheese. There's far more to it than that, far more foods that contain cow's milk protein. It's quite difficult to get people to understand this when you're speaking to them. They don't understand that a product that you wouldn't think has milk in it actually has cow's milk protein in there. So yeah, your whole world changes when you realise that you've got to follow a complete dairy avoidance diet. We use an amino acid based formula for her bedtime drink. In cooking and on breakfast cereals we'll use coconut milk, but that's not advised until your child's over 1, which Neve now is. In cooking we find that the coconut milk is the best alternative. There's other alternatives out there, such as oat or rice or soya if your child isn't soya allergic. But they don't tend to cook well, so if you're cooking, I'd go for a coconut milk. And as an alternative to cheese, there are soya-based cheeses, and there's also soy-free based dairy-free cheeses. You have to do a bit of searching, but they are available. When Neve was diagnosed and we cut out cow's milk protein, it took quite a while for us to see a difference. Initially she wouldn't take the special formula. She was given a EHF formula to begin with, and she wouldn't take it. So I carried on breastfeeding, but was advised not to change my diet for the time being, so her symptoms carried on for quite a while. She was around 16 months old when she was finally prescribed a AAF formula, and following her taking that, which was a start, her symptoms cleared within a couple of weeks. She was a completely different baby. She slept at night, she had none of the flatulence, her eczema started to clear. She changed very, very quickly and became a much happier baby, and friends and family really noticed the difference. She went from being quite lethargic to a happy, bouncy, normal 1-year-old. Top tips for living with the allergy is when you're out shopping, always read every label, even if it's a product that you've had before and you think it's safe. Ingredients can change from week to week. But if you do find something that your child can have, buy as many as you possibly can at the time if it's something that's not going to perish. Also, the expense side of it, things can be quite expensive, so if there's offers on anything, which does sometimes happen, buy as many as you can, because you'll save yourself a lot of money. Tips for finding other people. Facebook is great for finding groups, for sharing stories with other parents. It's great for getting information from the manufacturer of whichever formula milk. I think most of the formula milk companies have a page on there, and they're always really helpful. But yeah, groups and speaking to other people in a similar situation, because people who don't have allergies in the family don't often understand quite how difficult it is to deal with an allergy.